this video, I will teach you how to level up your brawlers to maximize your chance of winning in the draft and take that next step to pushing to Masters. The principles for leveling up your brawler are very simple. I've got 3 rules right here that you should take into consideration. You want brawlers that are viable. This means that you have to actually be able to compete with them, so they need to be level 10 or 11, and they need to be level 11 if they have a relevant hypercharge. Number 2, you need brawlers that are versatile. You need brawlers that can be picked on as many different maps as possible and be picked in as many different situations as possible. And 3, you need brawlers that are cheap. You want to spend as few coins as possible on each individual brawler. This also means that you need to leave every brawler that you don't level up to level 10 or higher at level 1. So that you can have as many leftover coins as possible. Leveling up brawlers to level 2 through 9 just doesn't do anything for you. It's not going to help you win your ranked games, so you should not do it. The only exception is if you need to get your account enough level 9s in order to play ranked in the first place, in which case, yes, it is okay to upgrade some brawlers to just level 9. I'm going to give you the best brawlers to upgrade right now in order to win your ranked games, but remember, these principles stand true no matter what the meta is. In a few months, this video's list could be completely different because there might be different brawlers in the meta, but the rules that I've told you will still stand true. The 2 best brawlers to upgrade right now in the game are Amber and Buster, for a few very important reasons. 1, they're both near the top of the meta. They're both what I would consider A-tier competitive brawlers right now. 2, they don't have a hypercharge, which means you don't have to spend 5,000 coins to make them viable. And 3, they don't have good star powers, which sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing because them being good without their star powers means you don't have to buy a star power. In fact, on stream, I pushed Mythic 1 using only a Power 9 Amber with no star power. Amber is an excellent lane with long range, piercing damage, and a gadget that is extremely overpowered right now. So she's one of the most consistent lanes in the entire game, and you can pick her in any game mode. Buster is not far behind, although I wouldn't really pick him in Heist. He's one of the best brawlers in all of Knockout. His goals in Brawl with his gadget are incredible. He's one of the best tanks in the entire game right now, and he's a brawler who's very good at dealing with spam from brawlers like Rico and Meg. The next best brawler to upgrade, and coincidentally the best brawler in the game, is Meg. You don't need to get Meg star power, you don't need to get a hypercharge for Meg. However, the reason that she's not number 1 is because Meg is going to be banned or first picked in most games once you get into high enough lobbies, and so you're not going to get as many games on her. Now, sometimes she does slip, but it's just not consistent enough to where leveling her up means you'll have a viable brawler all the time. With Amber and Buster, you can get them most of the time. Those, of course, are all mythic and legendary brawlers, and I know that a lot of you don't have them, so my best pick for brawler that I know you have is Griff. You get Griff at the start of the game if you sign in for like 25 days in a row or 15 or something like that, I don't know. And Griff is not what I would consider a top of the meta brawler right now. However, Griff has splash, Griff has heavy damage, and Griff has a wall break, which means you can pick him in many situations and many drafts, and he's a great counter to Growers or Rico because you can break important walls for them. You have to remember also that ranked lobbies are not competitive lobbies, so while Griff might not be at the top of the competitive meta, ranked players aren't as careful about not grouping up into Griff supers and staying out of his range, so you're going to find that Griff is a very, very strong brawler in ranked. Next, we have Lawrie and Lawrie. Now, despite all their nerfs, Lawrie and Lawrie are still one of the best throwers in the game, in my opinion, just behind Barley and Barry. Definitely still an A-tier brawler, and you do not need to get a hypercharge for them, and they're an epic brawler. So I imagine that most of you have Lawrie and Lawrie unlocked, and that will be a perfect throw it around out your account, especially because Lawrie and Lawrie are extremely easy to learn. So if you want a throw it around out your account, Lawrie and Lawrie is perfect, because you don't even have to like be good at playing throwers, to be honest. Honorable mentions. All of these brawlers missed the list for one reason or another. However, I still think they're pretty solid to upgrade. They're either brawlers that are very easy to unlock or lack a hypercharge, or both. And I have them in order of how close I was to putting them on the list. Alright, that's all I have for this video. Make sure to subscribe because next I'm working on a video on how to draft in your ranked games. I'm not just going to teach you who to draft, I'm going to teach you how to draft. And I'm going to tell you some tips that you probably have not heard before. So make sure to subscribe for that and peace out.